Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and today I want to show you guys how to put a fabric cover on the outside of your journal and the inside. And we will sew around and piece it all together and it'll be fun. So please, if you could, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and you guys will see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. Okay, so to start off, this is a piece of linen. See, and we're just gonna piece it together just to make it look Frankenstein kind of piece together. And it's gonna look really cool. This is the inside. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the inside here. But what I have is a linen skirt. I'll lose these pieces. Okay, so I got a linen skirt. And this is just, you can get it from Goodwill or check family, friends' closet, your own closets, look through stuff, and it's great material. You'll start thinking differently and look at it and go, I can make that a junk journal cover, or I can use that in a junk journal. And it just makes you think different too, and it's great. And I love the buttons. These buttons can be used in something. So this was like a long linen skirt. And I was like, this would be a great for the inside cover of a journal. So what we're gonna do is just find the end here, find the end piece, and get your fabric scissors. And I'm just gonna cut the, just the little folded part. I can't think of the hem, I couldn't think of it. Cut the hem, and because I want the ripped edge look. So we're gonna do that, do a little cut and a little rip. Cut and rip here. And like I said, we'll piece it together if we have to, and stitch it. It looks nice, just kind of stitched, you know. So I'm gonna rip. And like I said, it doesn't need to fit the whole way because we'll take another piece and stitch it here. So I'm gonna go like this. But we want some sticking around the edges because it's gonna stick out, and I'll show you. Okay. So maybe a ½ inch sticking out. However you want to do it. Go like that, ½ inch down. And then we can cut up here. And we can always trim more off, so just cut it a little bigger than you're thinking. And you can always trim. Okay, if you guys kind of see, if I can show you. Like this. See how it's like a ½ inch? Like there's the edge. Just like that. And the more frayed, the better look it is. Okay. And I always keep these little extra strings and stuff because they make nice clusters. These are great for clusters. Okay, so we got that, and then we still need to cover this little part here. So we'll go ahead and there, I'll just rip the rest of that, make it more manageable here. Okay. Like all this is perfect because these make great clusters. You can put it up at the top with little paper clip. I have video on doing these, so come check them out. I'll try to link it below for you guys. But clusters are our friend, that's for sure. Okay, oops, I didn't mean to bump you guys. All right, so I don't like the folded edge here. So I'm gonna cut that away and rip it. Just to give it more of a ripped edge effect here. And then keep all these pieces. I mean, you could do, so you can make a bow tie out of this, and do that on a cover or something, which we might entail. It might happen. You never know. I don't really, I kind of have a plan-ish when I start off with stuff, but I kind of like the way it just goes together, you know? It's like, I try not to plan it too much because it's kind of fun just to see what happens, you know? Like it really is. Okay, I'm gonna cut more. This is not working for me. There we go. Let's give it a good rip here. A good healthy rip. There we go. Now, yeah, maybe we'll do that on the cover, like a fun clustery with the bow, and that could be fun. So, let's see. What I want to do is kind of just overlap. And then I'm going to go to my sewing machine. Make sure you guys can see here. Try to stay in frame today. Okay. And I'm going to zigzag with black like I did here. Like that. Just to kind of piece it all together. Okay, so we got this piece that's going to go on there. Then this piece that I'm going to put on. And then the last piece we'll put on is the middle. And we'll glue that right in the middle. Okay, so let's try that. I'm gonna go to the sewing machine and go sew this piece together, and then we'll go from there. Went ahead and did that. Like that. Okay. And it's going to stick out a little bit on each side. And then this side's going to do the same. All right. Here, move this out a little bit more. Because we can always trim if we need to. I'm just trying to get it out of the crease right here. Not as much, so it's not so bulky in the crease. So I'm just moving this one out. And we're gonna move this one out. So if you want to like reinforce, if you want to, go ahead and do this. There we go. So if you're not sure, go ahead and pop down some tape. Give you a little extra something. Okay. Make sure you guys are in frame. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and take our fabric here and glue it down. And what I use is the Fabrifix. And it does the fabric, lace, leather, trims, and more, and the stuff works great. And I put it into a Sweet Sugar Belle. It's an icing bottle that you use for cakes and stuff, but you get, if you order, you can order 2 4-ounces. Well, I did on Amazon at the time, and they work great because this is 8 ounces, and then I just put in 4 ounces in there, and it's good to go. And it's got a nice thinner spout that it comes with a little metal tip that really helps to have it come out slower, you know, more precise for you. Okay, so, and you can get it on Amazon. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, like we said, and line it up out. So when we lay it down, let's do that. So go ahead and let's get it going here. And I'm also gonna sew it around on top of it too. So I don't need to get like a massive amount of glue. And I get a baby wipe just in case messes or whatever happens, which does happen. Okay, and you can smush it with your finger just so it doesn't soak through the material and make like wet spots. To reinforce it and make sure it's on here good, I'm going to go to the sewing machine and do some sewing. Just some straight, maybe a little wiggly, but I'm gonna keep them straight up and down just to do a couple to make it look like it's kind of patched on here like these, and it'll secure this down on there. So also when you're gluing this on, go ahead and press into the creases when you're gluing the spine fabric on. And a little bit of wrinkles are okay, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and go through here too with a couple of stitches just to give it some fun things before we put the front cover on. So anything you want to do now is a great idea to do some sewing, and then we'll put some pockets on and then we'll do the front. So right now I'm just going to go to the sewing machine and do some lines. I went ahead and sewn all over the place and did some just crazy stitching. It was kind of hard to get in the middle right here because I didn't want to bend the page like in half, you know, the book journal in half in the front. So I just kind of went down as far as I could with my sewing machine and just kind of just to tack it down, and this will be covered by signatures we'll bind in too. So I think it just gives a little character, a little bit of character. So I'm just cutting all the strings off here. And we're all about character. That is for sure. Or whatever, just get as many strings as you want, because we're gonna probably have to trim around the sides here too and just do a little rip, you know, before we start the front cover. But just go ahead and get what you can. And then we're gonna work on some pockets. I have some fun material that I dyed with some tea dye and onion dyed, or not tea dyed, avocado dyed and onion skin dyed material. And I have a video on how to do that. So you guys have to come check it out. And I'll try to link these down below. And if I forget, please let me know. But you can also look through my channel, you know, check out my channel and look through stuff. And you should be able to find it. But I will try to link it below. I have a lot of links down below too. And sometimes I look through and go, is that link down there? And then I check it. But I have a lot linked underneath to go check out. But, okay. So we got most of the strings cut. We'll do a better job later. So we got it all done, all sewn, and what I have is the tops of pillowcases that I did avocado dye. I thought that turned out really cool with the different things on it there. So I got that one, and I think that's avocado, and I think this is onion dyed. I'm pretty sure this one's the onion dyed one. But these could be fun, like keep your tops of your pillowcases or anything like that would be fun to do some pockets. Like you get to just go ahead and just sew it down. Just take it and put it on here, cut it to size and sew it down, and you got yourself a fun little pocket. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not sure. I kind of like the look of this one. So let's go ahead and go with this one, and I will get it cut up and do some sewing on it, and then I will sew it to the inside cover. All right, so I went ahead and did some pretty stitching on top of the pockets. Some stitching, like some little leafy vine things to go here, and that'll be the top. And I did some flowers, and I had to redo my bobbin in the middle of it, so I had to try to line it up, and it did not line up. So we're gonna put a cluster here when we're done with the inside here. After we sew them on, we'll do a little cluster, and I'll show you how to do that. So what we're gonna do is do some more sewing. And if you don't have a sewing machine or don't want to do any of the sewing, that's great. Just go ahead and glue everything down. And then you can even glue these pockets down. Just glue down the side and the bottom and the other side. And you could do that. Of course you can. So now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew down all the way around, all the three sides here on each side. And just a straight stitch. I'm just going to do a straight stitch on those. So I'll do that, and I'll be right back. What happened was I got it all sewn on two sides, but my machine, I couldn't get through here with my machine on these sides. So we're gonna go ahead and just take it and glue it, and that'll hold nicely. So sometimes you just go with what you got happening, and it's all gonna look great. And also, like I said, it just comes together. You just don't, you know, you kind of have a plan in your head, and then what happens, happens, and I think it all turns out great. So that's part of the creativity, is you get to play around and see what happens, and see where the journal takes you is pretty much how I see it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take our glue and just do a little bead of glue. And it's gonna hold nicely. So go ahead. And when you do this, make sure, and I told you guys this before, but just make sure you're not so close to the crease that it creases with it. So like go like a millimeter away, just so you can open and close freely without it bunching up. So. Just a bead of glue here. Okay. And these are fun pockets made from a pillowcase. It's just, it already kind of did the work for us here with the little white stitching on it. You see that? So I think it turned out pretty cute. Now you got yourself some pretty good size pockets too. Like you can get some, you know, you can get some nice stuff in there. Ooh. So let that dry before we mess around with it. Okay, so we got that. We did that. Now let's go ahead and let's do our little cluster here. Might as well. So what we got is we got some extra pieces here. We got, I got a little bit of cardboard, but I have scraps. This is like my little scrap container. And I got some suede here. But just take your scraps that you have and see what you can do with them. Because you can just piece together all kinds, and then this comes in handy because you got all your different strings and I can go in the scrap pile, and threads and rope. Okay, so we'll just start off making a cluster here. I like to start with the base of a square or something, and I don't know how matchy-matchy we want it, but okay, got that. Some suede. Some material. Even throw in some avocado dyed paper. Okay. And then take just some thread that you have. And let's see, we're gonna need I like to use a stapler gun. A little stapler. I guess it's not a stapler gun. A staple gun. It's a stapler. And I just ball this up. You just do a little. There's no wrong way to do a cluster. You just kind of piece together what you got and use up some of your scraps and make it look pretty. We can even do that. And then staple it. Okay. And if you don't want your staple to show, go ahead and have a piece that you can glue on the top here. And then it hides the staple. But I like stapling it, it just gets everything together, you know. It's way easier than sitting there trying to finagle with the glue and trying to get the string glued and, or the, you know, the thread. All that stuff. So there. So now we can hide this little spot that I messed up on. So that's why there's no really mistakes. You just go with it, and I think we improved it. Okay, that's your glue. So we just go with the flow. And if you've watched my videos, you can definitely see I just I get on there and we just go to town with whatever I got, and we just make it happen. Because there really isn't any rhyme or reason, or, you know, wrong or right, or it's art, you know, it's art. It's what you feel. It's what you. There really is no wrong. Like, there's just a different path. That's how I see it. You know, you just take a different path than what you were thinking in your head. So little mistakes, which you think are mistakes that happen, like say, you know, how it messed up underneath there, we could just add to it, and I think we kind of improved it. It was something I wasn't thinking before, and it gives you a great idea to add another feature to it that you weren't thinking. So I think that turned out cute. So now we got a little cluster there that we did not plan on. Okay, we did all that. And then let's go ahead and just make sure to cut off all your loose strings. And I think this is all I'm going to do on the inside. I think of. And I'll meet up with you guys and we'll start the front part of it. Unless I think it's something different, but I think this is it on the inside here. Flip it to the front, and what we're going to do is trim around. Like if you don't want so much sticking out, like I like this sticking out. That's a good size for me. But I'm going to go ahead and trim this up a little bit. It just gives it that fun ripped edge look. Okay, and then remember we're going to sew the edges, so that'll get all sewn down. And if not, just make sure you glue it really good. Okay, I'm just going to keep that. I kind of like that. Okay. Whew. So we got that part done. Now, I hope you guys can hear me when I'm standing. I don't know if you can hear me as good, but I'll talk louder. So I got the front, or I mean the inside. And what we're going to do is, this is so cool. And this journal, I want to try to do kind of an ocean theme with it. And my mom quilted. She's a quilter, and she did this, and I thought it was so cool that I want to use it for a cover, and I think it's a great cover for like ocean. Like, doesn't that remind you of the ocean? And I love the blue and all the shiny and the waves. And so this is what I want to use for the front cover. And it's going to be the same concept. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing we did on the inside, but on the outside. And kind of the rip effect. I want to see if I can rip this and just get it in between, and I'll have to finagle with that a little bit, but whatever material you use, it's just, you know, you can just rip it, cut it, and rip it. And I want to line up the first piece just like we did, and we'll do the first section, then the second section, and then the spine over the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it in a time lapse, and then you guys should be able to see what I'm doing too, because it's going to take a little bit of finagling and trying to figure the rip parts. So I'm just going to line it up over here and glue it, then line up the other side and glue it, and then do the spine. So we'll go from there. I got it all glued down and did the spine like that. And what I'm going to do is go to my sew machine, and I'm going to do I haven't decided yet if I want to do a straight stitch all the way around, or I'm thinking maybe a zigzag, because then it'll hide the cardboard, and I'll try to catch the side of the cardboard all the way around. So I think I'm going to zigzag it around, and I'm going to sew the spine right here too. I'm going to go ahead and catch the, I'm going to go ahead and sew that, and I'm probably going to zigzag it and just catch all that all the way down. So then it's all secured in. And if you don't have a sewing machine, just make sure again to glue very well. And yeah, we'll go from there. And I'll take you guys over the sewing machine and show you what I do. That turned out really good. I really like the zigzag around it. I just went ahead and went all the way around. Like that. Just all the way around. And I was able to bend this enough where there's no big crease in the cardboard. But I was able to bend it enough to get the spine. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it looks great. So I got the spine sewn, and the fun part about it is the inside, because I was trying to do it on the inside of the pockets, I went ahead and sewed the inside of the pocket, which is fine. I mean, you lose a little bit here, but you still got a big old pocket to put stuff. Now it's secured, so, and then this kind of rat-tailed in my machine, but as the late Bob Ross would say, it's a happy little accident. I think it looks great. It's like a little cluster and all this, and I think it all turned out pretty good. Not too bad. So, and then keep fraying this up here. Just the fun little frayed little fabric pockets. And yeah, just keep doing that and getting all the strings and fluffing it how you want it all. But I think it turned out great. So this is it for today. I hope you guys found it informational. And then that's the front, like that. I think that turned out really cool. I love how the fabric, how it sticks out and comes through. And then what we did was we got the cardboard hidden, so you really can't see. I mean, sewing it together like that helped a lot. So you can't see all the cardboard in between. And you could see that's the front. And then that's the back. And you can see the linen coming through. So that's just a fun little idea to do. And I hope you guys found this informational and get your guys' creative juices flowing. And tomorrow, or my next video I'll post on this will be, I want to do a book plate on the front or some kind of a cover. And we'll put an eyelet here and here and do like a tie with some lace. And if we have time, we'll do a dangle too. We'll put a little eyelet here and have a little dangle, make a little dangle to put in. So that's what I'm hoping for the next video. Those will be the next steps I'm going to do at least, and see how far we get on those. And I hope you guys really like this video. And please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting, guys. And have a great day.